Say bye.
Just say something, man, no nothing it fi bother them. Me realize enough no want to hear about God again. Family and friends, welcome to another episode of Tea Inspired. And today we want to talk about feelings. Have you ever been in the position where you were afraid to talk about Jesus to your friends, the people around you? And it's not because of you. Who, me? No. Oh, couldn't be because them days I realize that people just are moving. Malande, calm down, little man. Calm down, little man. Calm down. People are moving from the dispensation of grace and hearing the truth to the dispensation of madness and hiding the truth or avoiding the truth, not wanting to hear the truth. Nowadays, it's like people want us to hide the truth from them so they can feel good about the lie that they're living. What are they calling it?
They say them a live their truth.
And I quote, I am living my truth. Hey, you say if you're not top farm fool of yourself and make God. Can I ask you a question? David, what would Jesus do? What would Jesus... But what?
Both sparing feelings.
You ask me. I remember there was a time when Jesus told his disciples that he was going to Jerusalem and he was going to be persecuted, all the things, and he was going to be killed. And Peter took him one side and Peter was like, yo, no, get rid of that heart, the brother. You cannot speak negative over your life. And you know? Read the scripture and you will see what Peter said word for word. How Peter felt about the situation made him react in that manner. He rebuked Jesus and say, yo, be it far from you, brother. And so then think about yourself. That can't go on. But Jesus turned to Peter, his friend. Well, on there, just to put things into perspective, you see, we are talking about Peter, who helped Jesus to talk to the multitude when he pushed him boat out from the shore a little bit, so Jesus could have talked to them. Me I talk about the Peter who Jesus said cast a net on the other side and him do it and catch 2 boatload of fish because 1 boat couldn't hold the amount of fish when him draw. All him net did a broke. And then that same Peter, he left the blessing the way he just get and follow Jesus. The same Peter walk on water when Jesus called him. Yeah, man, that's the Peter we're talking about. A friend, a disciple, a follower of Jesus. But Jesus turned to Peter, his friend, and said, I rebuke you, Satan.
Wait. What?
Aye. You heard me. So for all who love say, me no want no friend if they can't tell me the truth. And for the English spoken people, for those of us who like to say, I don't want you to be my friend if you can't tell me the truth, try Jesus. Jesus even said that he was offended, like Peter not wanting to God work. So you're not telling them. If Jesus was worried about sparing feelings, he wouldn't have rebuked Peter. That's right. Make that so keen a little. He was offended because Peter was trying to get him to not do the work of his father. So my question to you is, who would you rather offend, Jesus or man? Never stop talking about Jesus. Because Jesus came to save our souls, not to spare feelings. I want you to see something. Read the book of John chapter 8, from verse 12 to the end. There were some people who thought that they were there, that they reach. But they weren't. These men were saying that they were children of Abraham, and Jesus said to them, ye are of the devil. If Jesus was concerned about how they were going to feel in that moment, he wouldn't have told them. But he knew that if they heard the truth, it could help them. True that, because the Pharisees, they didn't like what Jesus say and do. However, it actually made some of those Pharisees free. There was a time when Jesus went into the temple and he said unto them, this is a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of thieves. If Jesus was concerned about feelings, he wouldn't have said it. Yeah. Jesus, when he was going around doing good, he was always more concerned about saving the person's soul than how the person are going to feel about hearing the truth that would make them free. True that is our job as well. Yes, sometimes it's going to be hard because you can already anticipate how the person are going to feel, the persecution. When Jesus spoke, he knew that when he said what he had to, it would go out and it wouldn't come back to him void. So he said it. Yes, it may offend people. Yes, it may hurt their feelings, but it is there to save their souls. That is why he kept on doing what he was doing. The world today want to take Jesus out of everything. They want us to be quiet. The enemy is not offended when we're quiet. And why should he be? When if Christians remain silent about Jesus, it only makes his work easier. We're here to win souls. Preach the word all about the place. That's what the Bible say. Yeah. Imagine a man like Paul now, you see, who was persecuting the church. Did you know that Paul was a Pharisee? He was there when Stephen was stoned to death. He was a part of the reason. Hey, Mr. Jesus buck him on Damascus Road, you know, and he said, Saul, how you deal with me? So you persecute me. Saul say, who that Jesus? Say, me Jesus. It's hard to kick against the prick. Long story short, Saul give him life to Jesus. He changed his life around and now he was the one in charge of speaking the word, preaching the word, carrying the word around and about. If he was feeling some kind of way about offending people or what people had to say, you think he would have gone out there doing what he did? And I want you to notice, you know, when it comes down to sharing the word, you can either choose to please God and share the word or offend him by not sharing the word. Don't let the enemy con you into being silent because of sparing feelings sake. As for you and your house, start there. Serve the Lord. And then when you go out, as long as a person I talk to you, then you have the right to tell them about Jesus. As Christians, it is our job to share the truth. So let us do it. Moses did it. Jonah, yes man, Jonah was running away from Nineveh. But guess what? It wasn't because Jonah was concerned about how the people were going to feel when he shared the word. Jonah was more concerned that when they heard the word, regardless of how they felt about it, it was going to help them. And Jonah never want to help them. So he wasn't concerned about their feelings either. He was just up in his feelings. That's why he ran away. You get the picture? We as Christians, we are equipped to share the word in different forms, in different ways. Let us take the opportunity to do so when we get it. My advice to you, the next time you feel to share the word with somebody, but you're worried about how they're going to feel, think about what Jesus would do. And then just say something, man, or nothing if it bother them. Me realize enough no one to hear about God again. Some will tell you straight, the man you God and no friend. Yet when them pass with souls will last, them want to go heaven. Just grab the word and read the word and live the word, my friend. Prepare your souls for the time after the time you end. Pass it by.